I mean, it's a good off balance, but until you actually do something, you don't know if it's right for you or not. Oh, I'm getting chicken skin talking about it.
It's time to meet the judges. Thank you, sir. I'm with you.
Richard Goodall is most known for being the unassuming caretaker who won the coveted golden buzzer on America's Got Talent after astounding the judges. However, what if I told you that there's more to Richard Goodall than what you saw on television? A portion of his life is so raw and agonizing that it was kept off camera. We're going to take you on a journey through grief, heartache, and an unexpected but glorious ascent today. I promise you that this tale will permanently alter your perception of Richard. Let's go back to the first instance that rocked Richard's world. Beneath the laughter and hugs, Richard Goodall bears a great deal of suffering. On June 19, 2021, just over a year before his incredible performance on America's Got Talent, Richard lost his 30-year wife to cancer. They had celebrated every Valentine's Day and Christmas together for a lifetime, but it was all gone in an instant. Richard shared a heartbreaking, honest message on Instagram that revealed his sorrow. "I really apologize, and I gave it my all, but it wasn't enough. Cancer is akin to taking a punch to the stomach. You're told to get back up and restart after you fall to the ground." Richard had been inseparable from his wife for 30 years. Together, they experienced the highs and lows of life, encouraging one another at every turn. However, cancer altered everything. Now, the pictures they shared together of their holidays and everyday life are melancholic reminders of a love that ended far too soon. Though the world may never have known, Richard carried a great deal of pain with him onto the AGT stage. Nevertheless, even when it seems like life shouldn't go on, it does. Richard fell in love again a short while after losing his wife. "Fun night with Mylene at Taco Tequilas" was the caption Richard wrote on an Instagram photo he shared in August 2021 of himself and his new fiancée, Angie. Although it appeared that Richard had moved on, the truth was much more nuanced. Richard had a difficult time falling in love again. It was a time of uncertainty, regret, and the lingering presence of his deceased spouse. Richard found solace and hope again in Angie. She supported him while he started to recover, and they created a fresh route ahead together. However, Richard's wife's memory lingered, a constant reminder of the life he had before, even as they shared new experiences. To move forward meant to learn how to hold both the past and the future close to his heart, not to forget them. Richard's amazing voice was well known even before he appeared on the AGT stage, but not in the way you might expect. Richard spent many years cleaning classrooms at a middle school in Terre Haute, Indiana. Though not glamorous, his work was reliable, and it was in the school's hallways that Richard began singing for the first time. Richard's voice filled the empty halls every day as he emptied the trash and swept the floors, making both teachers and students happy. Many people were unaware, though, that Richard had been longing for this day for years. He would frequently talk about how much he loved music and how, when he was by himself in his room with just his radio stereo, he would sing. Growing up, he didn't have access to a band or other opportunities, but that didn't stop him from singing. Richard used singing as a means of expressing his inner anguish, hope, and dreams. It was more than just a pastime for him. Richard's path to AGT began with a viral TikTok rather than an audition. Richard was doing "Don't Stop Believin'" for a group of middle school kids one day when a teacher caught him on camera and posted it to TikTok. In a matter of days, the video went viral, gaining millions of views. Richard was suddenly more than just a nice-sounding janitor. He was a sensation on the internet. His local band, Menopause, which had performed in various small venues around the town, found itself suddenly in high demand. In July, they went from playing in bars to having full weekends. Richard felt overpowered. "We're booked every weekend just like that," he remarked. Everything had changed because of the viral video, but the biggest shift was still to come. However, there was a moment of heartbreaking disappointment before Richard became the breakout star of AGT. Most people are unaware that Richard tried out for AGT after doing an audition for The Voice. With the intention of appearing on the show, he submitted a video of himself singing "Don't Stop Believin'." However, he did not anticipate the response he received. "Sadly, it appears that you will not be proceeding to the next round," the email stated. Richard was inconsolable. Here he was being told he wasn't good enough, after years of people telling him he had a great voice and students pushing him to try out for a singing competition. His confidence took a hit as a result. However, Richard used that rejection as motivation rather than giving up. On Instagram, Richard Goodall shared a post. Richard went on America's Got Talent as an auditionee, determined to prove himself. But there were questions even as he took the stage. Was he able to pull this off? Could he really hold his own and stand with the world's greatest singers? Not even a few seconds into his rendition of "Don't Stop Believin'" was the response. The judges couldn't stop staring. Everyone in the audience was standing. Richard was showered with golden confetti as Heidi Klum slammed the golden buzzer as the final notes reverberated throughout the theater. Richard would always remember that particular moment. To his disbelieving audience, he said, "I've never even been on a plane before." This was a dream come true for a man who had spent decades singing in local bars and school hallways. Still, the dream was not his alone. It was the property of all those who had helped him along the journey. Richard's path to AGT extended beyond him. It was a joint endeavor. Richard was embraced by his hometown of Terre Haute after he won the Golden Buzzer. Chris Bon, a local, started a GoFundMe page to assist with Richard's travel expenses to California. More than $15,000 was raised by the campaign, with hundreds of donors. The campaign said, "Let's offer Terre Haute's AGT Golden Buzzer winner our whole support." Money was not the only fact. It was intended to let Richard know that he wasn't traveling alone. He was now able to perform on a national platform for the people who had supported him at school functions and watched him sing in bars, and they were going to make sure he had all the tools necessary for success. Don't Stop Believin' was performed live in front of an audience by Richard and former American Idol contestant Rudy Cardenas in August 2022. It felt like a complete circle. Richard's place among the stars was now cemented by the song that had made him famous on the internet. The audience cheered when Rudy introduced Richard. When Rudy first watched Richard's viral video, he thought, "There's no way this is real." However, it was genuine. It was also the moment Richard had spent his entire life dreaming of. Richard thanked everyone who had helped him along the way in an Instagram post following the show. He wrote, "An absolutely awesome day." For Richard, though, it went beyond the performance. It was an attempt to demonstrate to the world and to himself that dreams are indeed realized. But that's not where the story ends. Richard attracted the attention of one of his musical idols, Journey's former lead singer Steve Perry, after his TikTok video went viral. Steve said on TikTok, "I love this," after watching Richard perform Don't Stop Believin'. For Richard, who had admired Perry since he was a child, this was an incredible moment. Richard never expected to be validated as a talented person by the man who wrote and performed the song first. The compliments didn't end there, though. Richard's video was reposted by the official Journey account on TikTok, and soon after, other well-known musicians took notice. AGT judge Howie Mandel even made a video response to Richard's performance, stating that Richard ought to be on the show. This was, for a man who had sung in obscurity for decades, the ultimate validation. The narrative of Richard Goodall goes beyond his luck on American Got Talent. It's a tale of perseverance, of rising above unspeakable adversity, and of never giving up on your goals. Richard's journey is evidence that anything is possible if you just keep believing. From the heartbreak of losing his wife, to the happiness of finding love again, from singing in his room by himself to performing in front of millions of people. And this is just the start for Richard. What will Richard Goodall do next? Time will tell. His voice, his tale, and his unwavering spirit will undoubtedly continue to inspire millions of people worldwide, though. And that makes all of us better off. How do you feel about Richard's ascent to celebrity? Tell us in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and like the video. Please click the next video on your screen if you enjoyed this one.